Hey up! So, how's it going? Right. So, if you've seen the last month with these comparison videos and everything, I've been building a whole bunch of pedals against an actual manufactured pedal, alright? And here we are, alright? So, the big thing about this is I'm not an avid, I don't know the history, but I'm a big fan of Scott Henderson, Scott Henderson sounds. Best gig in my life, went down to Ronnie Scott's, seen him the other year. Outstanding, I cannot forget it, okay? So, me being me, I thought I would replicate Scott's board. I don't have the wah on the end, it's a wah as far as I'm concerned. And I don't have an SC80 because I always just plug in and use the plugins on the DAW, alright? So, what I'll do is, I fancy just putting up a signal chain of the kit builds and the real pedals and see what happens, alright? So the one control is here, we've got guitar into the input, output goes straight into the front of the Flynn. Settings here, okay? And the tracks, we've got Sound Toys Plate Reverb and the Sound Toys Echo Boy, a la Scott Henderson recommends it, is good enough for me. The Flynn is plugged into the Sewer Reactive Load, because John Sewer stuff is the best. And what we've got is STL Tone's Libra plugin that loads an IR. Of course, I have the York Audio Carry Right 4x12 IR, which is Scott Henderson's personal cabinet that got captured with a SM57 4 greenbacks. And I don't have a Scott Henderson signature. John Sewer, if you're handing them out, send one over to Bonnie Scotland if you can. But realistically, what we've got here is we've got my Schecter that I've had for ages. You've seen me change the pickups in this. These are raw vintage RV60s. In comparison to Scott's guitar, he's got 3 ML Michael Landau pickups, neck pickups, all the same. It's very subtle with the changes between the pickup selection, but you'll hear the nuances between these are drastic. But case is, his tone pot is down about 5 and 6, and you could get away with just soft touching and all that, right? So if I go with clean signal here just now, you batter into the actual strings, you can get some gain from the Flynn if you go softly. Neck pickup. That's what bass tone, alright? So I think what we'll do is you've seen the comparison videos of these, alright? So I think what we'll do is we'll just have a go with some backing tracks over each one of them. So the red loop is the real manufactured pedals, the green loop is the Fuzz Dog kit builds that I've put together, and all we'll do is we'll just go between them, we'll activate a pedal, swap between the two of them, next one, and we'll run along to the next one and see what happens, alright? Does that sound like a plan? Let's start with the RC booster. So they're essentially set up a la the same sort of range of tone, okay? So the backing track we've got is just from a previous kind of like Scott Henderson masterclass, a couple of things you could pick up. Highly recommend it. I'm biased, but highly recommend it. I mean, from a guitarist perspective, it's outstanding stuff I think he makes, because well, he's a guitarist and he's into the blues and the rest of it, but his big jazz thing was his transcribing sax players and like trumpet players, whatever and all that, and back in the day. So in terms of his vocabulary as it hits the guitar, it's kind of free rein, timing, bit of nuance from transcribing sax stuff and all that. It's not just always the normal guitar stuff that you hear from him, and I think that's the thing that leans my ear towards it and just makes me so attracted to it. Anyway, I'm no Scott Henderson, but let's see if we can use a Scott Henderson board and a kit build board and see if they can get you sort of in the area here. The backing track is kind of Lady P-esque, if you know what I mean. We'll start with the RC booster, here we go. Cool. RC. Let's move on. We've got the Fuzz Dog kit build sorry, it's not a versus, it's comparison with the Twi SH9. So this is higher gain. We'll start with the Fuzz Dog this time, shall we? Sorry, that just sounds great to me. Alright, what we've got next is the full tone, and we'll start with the full tone, see what happens. man. Ah, I don't know about you, but that just sounds outstanding. I wish I could play like Scott to give this any sort of justice, but wow, I've got my own way of doing it, I suppose. Um, right, so what's next? Next in line is the Fuzz Factory. This is, tweaking about where it's a wee bit more gated than what this is, but we'll go with it, alright? We'll start with the Z-Vex itself, alright? Not really a backing track that leans to using this sort of pedal, but we'll do it, alright? See what happens with the cleanup. Cleanup is everything. Oh yes, oh yes. I'm into it, I'm into it. Right, so last pedal in the chain here is probably the last video you've seen here. So we've got the Arian Stereo Chorus and the Atom Labs High-Tor Design PCB thing here that he's sent me over that we've got. Let's see what happens here. So I think probably we'll start with them and then maybe add the RC booster for a bit of volume. See what happens. bit carried away there. So, quick jump into some of this. Wow, I'm chuffed I've managed to do it. This was the end goal with these. Not the end goal of building pedals, but the end goal was the first thing. If I was going to, I might as well have chosen pedals of an idea of something that I wanted to do rather than just buying random pedals to go with. Yeah, I've already got too many SD9s. You know what I mean? So what am I supposed to do? The case is in point. The idea was get the real kind of manufactured pedals for Scott's idea, and then get a kit build, put them together, and in comparison there, what do you think? What do you really think? Tell me. Have I done an alright job? Have I done a bad job? Have I done the worst job? Imagine doing that. Or, that looks like a bit of fun. I would highly recommend, if anybody hasn't got a soldering iron, buy one. Don't put it in your mouth and turn it on. Don't do that. I'm not going to take responsibility for your stupidity, but have a go at it. This was really cool. You can the Fuzz Dog actually pre-build these as well. Actually, if you want to ask them. But this is great stuff. This is just stuff down the road, England, that you buy and you put together, and this is what you get. They're really no far from the real thing. Really no that far. So, thanks everybody much for tuning in, and we'll see what happens with the next one. Thanks very much. Cheers.